Who will be the first to make contact? Yeah, I've got Val Thor up there. So he's a famous Venusian. So he's been here. Yeah, during Eisenhower's term, apparently he lived at the Pentagon for a bit, stayed at the Pentagon. So the Venusians, I think, and he looked very human, so that's apparently an actual photograph of him. So when I tuned into this, who will be the first to make contact, the response I got was beings on your own planet. And I think this could be a combination, and beings that look like us, who look more like us. So this could be inner Earth, Nordic, Venusian beings, hybrids. I think will be among the first. And I put Sasquatch in there because I got a fun story. But I think it's going to be a process. I asked Talia back in 2022 or 2023 when she would be, this is how I worded it, when will you be more boots on the ground face to face with us? And she said in the 2030s. So that's not too far away. That's coming up pretty quick. I think we've got some cleaning up to do on this planet first before we can have open contact. But it is happening in waves. More and more envoys are being contacted. More and more disclosure is coming through us, through events like these. And more celebrities are being contacted. Whatever you think about Joe Rogan, he recently, not too long ago, shared a dream that I believe was an actual contact experience. Where he was basically on a ship. He said it was the most real bizarre dream that he's ever had in his life. And it freaked him out. It woke him up and it freaked him out. He had to go work out. He had to go work out. It freaked him out so bad. But so he was on a ship, and these beings, he said they looked human, but they had bigger heads and bigger eyes. And they basically telepathically, this freaked him out too, because he experienced telepathy, like very strong telepathy. They basically told him without saying it, get used to this. Contact, face-to-face contact. Now that's changed his life forever. I think that's rippling. It's planting that seed and that's rippling out. So dreams can be another big way that they contact you. I call those, or my star family calls those training modules, where you receive some sort of a training or information or an experience to help acclimate you through the dream space. But he could have literally been up on a ship with them, being debriefed or briefed, on what the plan is, and then he kind of comes back with amnesia, but he has this experience. As our frequency and consciousness is ready. So I think a lot of this is kind of fluid. We've got certain milestones, but ultimately I believe it's up to us, and it's kind of, some things are shifting. We hear about these timeline shifts and timeline changes a lot. There's a lot of time shifting occurring right now. So, Sasquatch story time. Did you guys see that Sasquatch was viral recently? He was spotted in Ohio many times within a week. Different Sasquatch were spotted. And there was also more sightings in Arizona and I think Washington. All around the same time, there was like a Sasquatch flap just like a month or so ago. And I've been experiencing more contact with the Sasquatch. So the Sasquatch, there are different types of cryptids, some more malicious, but these Sasquatch I'm talking about are very benevolent. They're very ancient. They're very wise beings. And they remind me of, like, they have different clans all around the country. Each clan has different personalities, customs. They remind me of like Native American culture, basically. And they told me, I had this contact session with them not too long ago. I did a video on my YouTube channel, and they said that we are genetically related as well. So we're like brothers and sisters. But they're guardians of the land. They're grid workers as well. And more people are starting to see the Sasquatch. So that's a part of contact and disclosure as well. And more people are starting to understand that these beings are interdimensional. They travel through portals. That's why, this is the big mystery of like, where's Sasquatch? Because some people see him and then he's gone. Well, that's why, because he's literally shifting his frequency. There's females too. They're shifting their frequency just for a second. And if there's a lot of the time, there's one footprint. If they leave you a footprint, there's one. And I had a Sasquatch contactee on my channel recently, Mike Bodowitz. He's had a relationship with them for a very long time. And he said they'll like open up a portal and they'll put one foot in and leave you a footprint, and that's a gift for you, and then they'll step back out. So they're a part of disclosure. Them coming forward more and allowing themselves to be seen more, I believe that's a part of the disclosure process. But so I live in Sedona, Arizona. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens in Sedona. The veil's very thin there. And the Sasquatch, there's a lot of Sasquatch right by my house, especially by my partner's house. He lives kind of more in a little bit more valley. There's more trees. And I sense them very often over there. And one night while I was over there, I heard telepathically. I saw them as a vision, and then I felt their energy. They were around the house, and they showed me a vision of a footprint, and they said that they were going to leave us a footprint soon. And I was like, okay, cool. And then literally 2 or 3 days later, he was walking down the street, and he found a footprint right by the house. And so and he made a cast of it. So there it is right there. You can see some of the toes. You can see where, the part where you step is more deeper into the earth. And then there's a comparison of the cast next to my head. So Sasquatch are part of it too. And apparently they are in on these meetings. Like they're constantly kind of assessing the consciousness of the planet, seeing where we're at, what could be a good next move to help us, to help guide us. They're like our older brothers and sisters, essentially, as well as the inner earth beings. Very much connected to us. And like I said, these beings are starting to contact more and more people, which is incredible. Earth be like... This is a vision I keep getting. We've got a lot of activity in space around us right now. A lot of activity. And one of the last messages I got for one of my most recent videos was, like, I saw that, and I saw different, I saw the Venusians specifically, as well as other beings and inner earth beings. They were preparing for something. They're like watching, observing, aiding where they can, and also preparing for something. Like, well, stuff's popping off here, you guys. Stuff is popping off. But they wanted us to know that we are very much being watched over, and they assist where they can as well. I've also seen visions frequently of us being the envoys here, being in pods, having the original avatar, who we were before this, in pods, and then our consciousness is transferred and birthed onto the planet. And so we're the inside guys, like I said. But we're already here. We are the aliens. So that also goes along to say, we don't need to wait for anything outside of ourselves. We do have friends and family supporting us, helping us, but really this is an inside job, and we heard the call. It's you. You are everything you've been looking for. I wanted to touch on Stargates briefly because that's a big part of what's occurring on the planet right now. There's a lot of activity around the Stargates. And when I did a deep dive on this, I was getting that they're like ascension portals and pathways to getting in and out of the planet. So there's been some fighting, a lot of fighting over Stargates, because who controls the Stargates, who controls who's coming in and out. And I believe some of these Stargates have been hijacked and weaponized, essentially. Sending out like dark programming, allowing in dark stuff. I don't want to focus too much on the dark stuff, but just to let you guys know that like that's a big process of what we're seeing play out on the planet right now. So apparently these are the 12 main ones, and then there's tons of other Stargates as well. Mount Shasta, Uluru, Hawaii, lots of Stargates, but then apparently these are the 12 main Stargates. And this is a big part of why there's been stuff happening in the Middle East. Yeah. I think they're messing with stuff. Yeah, I think they're messing with stuff. Yeah, they're ripping. I've seen a little bit of it, and I've kind of experienced some of the effects from it when, there's been a fight, a battle over the timeline and a battle over the grid of the planet. And that's where, like, these come in as well. So, yeah, we've had dark forces trying to alter the timeline, push us onto a certain timeline, change timelines, opening up portals, letting stuff in. But that's being cleared out. I think it's still an active mission, though. Definitely. What else was I going to say about? Also, with what's going on in the Middle East, I've seen giants. A lot of this revolving around giants and giant remains. And what's weird is a certain somebody, political figure, an email came forward about her looking for the tomb of Gilgamesh. What do they want with that? So this has to do with our history and kind of the old guard of who was here before. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say on that. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. But that's a lot of what's going on right now, the push back and forth. But I was also seeing, I did this amazing breathwork session. Now, breathwork is so profound. So profound. This specific type of breathwork, even just regular breathwork, but this specific type is a very fast-paced breathwork for an extended amount of time, where you go like, if you do that, we do it for like 30 minutes straight. Within 5 minutes, you're already feeling crazy sensations. I think your lungs, your body's releasing a small amount of DMT as well when you do it for an extended period of time. So you can have amazing breakthrough sessions. You can work through years and lifetimes of trauma, healing that, clearing that, and you can also activate gifts and abilities. And so I did a really nice deep dive breathwork session not too long ago, and I saw all of this light flooding into the planet, going through all of these sacred sites, the Stargates, and it was Christ consciousness. It was diamond fire, bright light, and that's how it's supposed to be. So we've got a lot of things being kind of rearranged and worked on and cleared and activated. I did see a Stargate at Cathedral Rock as well. And this was over a year ago I saw this, because this was in my presentation for the Rebels of Disclosure. But so I saw, and this is in Sedona. So I made this artwork to go with it. And I saw this specific Stargate. It probably led to many other places as well, but what I saw it leading to the Pleiades. It looked like the Pleiadians were using it, and I saw it going to Jupiter. Now, there's some interesting stuff about like cosmic galactic meetings happening on Jupiter, on the moon of Jupiter. There's a lot of activity. Ashtar Command, over there, there's a lot going on around Jupiter. So like I was saying a minute ago, preparation for initiations was some of the latest messages that I got. Like, we're going through some big initiations and about to go through big initiations. I saw the Venusians, the blue avians, and the inner earth beings, as well as other races, but specifically very much the inner earth beings. Like I saw a vision of them. They were busy, like they were preparing for something. And they have a lot of us have inner earth connections, or Lemurian or Atlantean connections. No leader, politician, billionaire, or system can stop what's coming to Earth. This shift is bigger than policy, bigger than profit. It's cosmic. Galactic. Look up. The frequency of this planet is changing and no human agenda can override it. Yes, force is rising. Pressure, control, fear, but a different kind of power is rising too. Not the loud kind, not the conflict kind, the kind that dissolves distortion simply by standing in truth, the kind that doesn't need to fight because it's already won. You have one job right now. Raise your consciousness. The rest will fall into place or fall away. Exactly. Nothing can stop what's coming. And I put this image of a diamond up because I've gotten that message quite a few times. The pressure that we're experiencing, it's to create the diamond. The chaos, all of that stuff, it's bringing up the collective shadows. Such high light and frequencies are entering through us, entering in through the planet, even through some of these portals, Stargates, all of that it's causing all of our inner shadows as well as the collective shadows, trauma, karma, all of that coming up to the surface to be resolved. So that's why sometimes it looks a bit messy, but no fear. Raise your consciousness, and then that ripples out. I also wanted to highlight the Hopi prophecy, the sign in the sky. So I do believe we're living like prophetic times right now. How incredible we get to be here for this. I know it sucks sometimes. It's hard sometimes, it is, but this is prophetic times. And the Hopi talk about the sign in the sky. They have a few other prophecies around this time. I think Three Eye Atlas was actually part of that when that came in, because I notice a lot has shifted since Three Eye Atlas came in. It's like boom, 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 boom right now. But this marked a time of remembrance and change. And the awakening of the Rainbow Warriors. And that's not just one culture, that's all cultures all around the planet. And that's us. Woo! Give yourself a pat on the back. So the heart, that's basically the main thing. That's the key to everything. Being in your heart space, being grounded. Don't feed the loosh factory. That's what a lot of this stuff is. You know, I had somebody right before I left, I had somebody call me from my old city. Now I haven't talked to anybody in my old city in like years. I left, that was my old life. I had some random number call me trying to pick a fight. And I didn't even know who it was. She wouldn't tell me. I was like, who is this? She's like, stop playing games. Is this blah, blah, blah? Is this blah, blah, blah? Is this blah, blah, blah? And I was like, oh my God, what is happening right now? I haven't talked to anybody from that town in so long. And then I hung up the phone. I just hung up the phone. And then they just started calling me, texting me. It was crazy. It was like some high school flashback or something. And and so I ended up having to block the number. They tried calling me from a different number, and then it almost got me all worked up because I was like, what did I did? I haven't done it. I haven't talked to any of those people in so long. I haven't done anything. Maybe I did something back in like high school or college to make somebody mad, but it's been a while. And then I realized, oh my God, I'm about to go speak at this conference, and they're just trying to mess with my frequency. They're just trying to distract me. And then because I felt myself getting kind of worked up for a minute. I'm like, college PTSD. I'm like, what's going on? No. I still don't know who that was. But it doesn't matter because it was just something. It was an Agent Smith was activated, basically. Yeah, literally, just something kind of possessed somebody, like, oh, let's just go attack that person. So don't feed any of that stuff. Just realize a lot of the time that's what it is. It's just a distraction to distract you and take you off your vibe. Focus on the heart. This will also help you to hear your higher self, your guides, and communicate with the higher realms, allowing more healing and love in, and will definitely raise your frequency. If you guys want to take a picture of this, you can. This is how to connect with your star family. Just a very simple mantra. Setting the intention, it's super simple. And then ask. And you always want to, don't ask out of a place of fear. Make sure, you're in a high vibe place before reaching out to the spiritual realm. And then you just set the intention to connect with your star family and galactic guides or your higher self, whatever, of the highest love and light.